So President Ramaphosa preparing for Thursday's State of the Nation address. Of course, it's in the midst of an unprecedented energy crisis, a stagnating economy, crumbling infrastructure, increasing prices and high unemployment. He's also expected, likely after Thursday, to reshuffle his cabinet with an ANC that has to course correct if it wishes to regain the trust of South Africans, furious over the state of the country. Joined now by political analyst Professor Susan Boyson. Prof, thank you so much for joining us. How important is Thursday's address? We've heard lots of statements from the President recently about dealing with the power crisis. So many people already saying, oh, it's just going to be another laundry list of commitments that he might or might not keep to. Is it nevertheless still important?
Sally, indeed, it is important. It's such a good barometer of the state of the nation and state of government, and the state of government addressing the needs of the state of the nation. And the nation really lives these crises, and especially the power crisis, from day to day. And simultaneously, one has so much sympathy with the population out in general, because this is Cyril Ramaphosa's seventh SONA, so it's a saga of the seventh SONA, really. And where people still hope, yes, could something come out of it? Could there be maybe not definitive actions and plans?
All right. It looks, Susan, are we going to try? Sorry, Susan, you just froze briefly. I know that you're being load shed. Let's just, you're saying that it is important and it may, I suppose, in many ways give a sense of direction. Let's try and re-establish our connection. I think we've got you back with us. Obviously, the issue of energy is going to be front and centre. Last year it probably took up 2 paragraphs, and he mentioned it along with other issues around infrastructure and stability. This year, do you think it's going to take up a large part of his speech? And do you think he'll use the opportunity to possibly talk about a state of disaster being needed?
Sally, I think that is inescapable, because this disaster is all around. Every South African citizen experiences it. It affects the economy, it affects the ability to create jobs, to provide a better living for South Africans. And the ANC is going to try to bring that and bring its propose solutions, and we hope for more action and big plans on this front, but to bring that as close as possible to the population, because the ANC also realizes this is a serious kickoff of the 2024 election campaign, elections that will come in 15 months from now. And citizens are going to vote or going to choose to participate in elections or not, depending very well on their experiences in the next couple of months. And so it is something that Cyril Ramaphosa cannot avoid addressing, and addressing in deep and profound detail, in type of detail that will persuade the people out there that this is a president that is going to be more definitive, more emphatic, more determined to deliver these results than what we can gather from evidence the previous times around.
Of course, in order to do that, he needs the right cabinet members around him. Business Unity South Africa has already made a call saying, please get this right. You need the right team behind you. Not only, of course, to fix our country, but if the party is hoping to survive with any credibility post next year's election. We've seen Parks Tau, Sihle Zikalala, David Mabuza, among others, sworn in as ANC MPs. Who do you think would be the right picks for a cabinet, and do you expect sweeping changes?
As we know, Cyril Ramaphosa as a president is very reluctant to bring in big changes. The biggest set of changes in his term has been just after the 2019 elections, and then there was a type of forced cabinet reshuffle in 2021. But he doesn't like to make big changes. And yet, it is one of the only ways in which so much underperformance in governments can be explained if one looks at the individuals in those posts. And of course, one has to look at the president being serious in holding those cabinet ministers to account and showing determination to the nation that he is prepared to keep them to account and not just hold them in their posts in order to balance internal contests within the ANC and to keep ANC unity. This is really one case where either now, at the time of the State of the Nation, or increasingly indicated soon after the State of the Nation, that such a cabinet reshuffle will have to come. But I believe Cyril Ramaphosa has got one time and chance at this time to save his own reputation, to establish a more serious reputation for emphatic upfront leadership, not a peace-holding operation from the back burner. And so he will have to make changes if he himself, for the sake of his presidency, wants to retain credibility.
December last year, I think the furore over the Palapala report was pretty much at fever pitch just before the ANC National Elective Conference. The issue has died down somewhat for now, and I think I remember you and I chatting, and you were fairly concerned that he actually would not be able to survive. He seems to have come through that for now. How do you see the Palapala issue playing out from here on?
Sally, it could still come back at any time. There has been much speculation on how it will be taken forward once all the other investigations are being concluded, whether those will actually carry forth an idea that he was not complicit, not involved, not fully informed of those events. But should any doubt about that resurface, it is going to be right on the front burner, and he could be held account any way down the line. We have, of course, in that period since the dying down, the calming down of the waters, also heard that he truly was at the point personally of throwing in the towel and resigning, but that we know it was those around him who persuaded him to stay on, because he has, dented and damaged as it may be, he still has higher credibility than the bulk of other set of top leaders in the ANC. So many in the ANC still depend on Ramaphosa for some electoral clout, some power to persuade the electorate out there, which will help them secure their positions, which will help keep them in, possibly with a chance of still getting 50% plus in next year's elections. He is dented as he is, and as much as Palapala can come back, he's still the ANC's best hope to retain some majority. And that is, again, to pull that back to full circle to the State of the Nation address, where he will have to try to reclaim, to reassert some of that euphoria of the Tuma Mina moment of early 2018, when he just took over from Jacob Zuma, and everybody, or many people, then imagined that there was going to be a better future. There is a chance for the ANC to redeem itself. Now that message of renewing and reconstructing the country and the economy and renewing the ANC, that runs thick and fast, but it's at an occasion like tomorrow, like Thursday, when we will really be looking for the evidence. Can Ramaphosa actually bring that to the table? And to show that he can bring that to the table, he would really have to step up his act very seriously from the preceding 5 State of the Nation addresses that he delivered.
Thank you so much for chatting to us this evening. Political analyst Professor Susan Boyson there. Now still